We slept through the night, 8 hours straight.
Aww.
He was quiet. He'd wake up in the morning, he'd give him a bottle, he's fine, everything. I thought this was normal. And then to teach me what happened, along comes Doug. Doug had colic until he was 1 year old. He would cry considerably. And I still remember we had a cradle, one of these things that you could rock like this. And I'd put him in there, he'd be crying. And so I would, give him a bottle, he'd still cry. And Sandy would say to me, like rock him to sleep. So I'd grab the edge of the cradle and I'd go, rock! Begin! Which may have turned him into what he is today. But someone said you should put a little bit of booze in the milk and that'll help.
Oh my God. Wow.
So I had one of those little bottles like this, so I put an entire shot of rum in there.
Genius.
No.
And he drank it, and then he just. So I said, "This is great." Sandy and I got a movie on the TV. We're finally going to be able to watch it. 10 minutes later, so that's my baby story.
Great. So like when they're like, "Hey, I quit my job and now I'm going to make YouTube videos for."
Well, all right. Those who saw Doug's "I quit my job" thing,
Yeah.
which was really a lot of fun. I knew he was going to quit. I didn't know he was going to do it so dramatically. And when he came back, see, after that, he often doesn't mention that he was a commercial artist. And so he's at home, and he's in his bedroom, he's drawing and doing all his artwork and everything. And one day he says, "I am just so tired of drawing. I need a break." And so during that break, he created 5-second movies.
Really?
And at least once a day, he'd say, "Come in and look at this one." And I'd come and look at it, "Yeah, that's pretty funny," and everything. Sometimes his mother and I would come in, "No, that's not funny." Initially, he would then take it down or not put it up until he found people liked it, then he stopped listening to us. So he was doing all this, and then one day he got this idea, or he found out that the Harry Potter last book was going to have a massive opening in Oak Brook at the bookstore there. So he says, "I'm going to go and interview people." And Rob says, "Well, look, you can't just go in this white undershirt. You need a coat." So Rob grabs his suit coat, which is too big for Doug, and puts it on him. And I said, "You can't go with just a coat. You got to have a tie." So I grabbed the tie, jammed it about halfway up. He said, "No, it's too tight on my neck, so that's why it hangs down." And then he says, "It's a little cold out there. I'm going to grab a hat." And that was the Nostalgia Critic costume. We went there, did this big review of everything. Was a lot of fun. Spoiled the book for so many people. This guy comes out with a story. He says, "Tell me, what's it all about? How's it going to work?" And he grabs the book. He borrowed a book. And he looked at the end. He says, "Oh, this is great. I'm going to read this. I just want to see what happened if he lives or dies." He lives, and then off he goes. So that was a big deal back then, whether or not Harry would survive. So that's how his costume got started. And then he found people sort of like that. It went from there to the Bum. Thank you. And it went to, from then to the NC, and then the Dark Days when it went to Melvin, for those who remember that.
He's brother of the
which I
Joker.
am happy to say not a single person liked except Doug. He says, watch this. This is Melvin, the brother of the Joker. Sandy and I went in and we said, "That's terrible." Rob just went in and looked at him and said, "You're a kid." Walked out. I'm going to make you out. We learned that he was right up there with Demo Reel. So I really, Melvin was far worse than Demo Reel. Demo Reel was good, it simply didn't have enough time to develop it. So, anything else? Yeah.
How does Doug pick his material?
A lot of times people will say, "Hey, I really love this film. Why don't you review it? Doug will say, I can't. So do I. I love it. It's got to be something that he can make fun of. If it's a good one, for instance, he will probably never ever do a real review on Brazil. It's his favorite movie of all. He wants something, and I will say this, we just did one last week that we're shooting Tuesday. It'll be out 2 weeks after that, week after that, which has to be the worst Christmas movie I ever saw. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Oh.
It's what?
Worst from a Christmas tree?
I don't know. I've never seen Christmas Tree, but I have this one. Doug said, "Come over and let's watch it." So we all watched it at Rob's. It was so bad.
What?
And I used to like the kid. I mean, he was on Home Improvement. I mean, whoa, big deal. He just plays a terrible person on here. And that's what the whole review is based on. How bad it is. Yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Oh, I hate to tell people because it's one of those that everyone goes, really? And I go, yeah, I can't tell them. My favorite movie is Fifth Element.
Oh, I might like that one.
Fifth Element is a good movie. Yeah.
What's your opinion on Home Alone 2?
Home Alone 2 is one of the best movies in the world for Tim Curry.
Without Donald Trump in it.
Well, there you go.
Thank you.
What's the worst movie you've ever seen?
I was with the kids when I watched the worst movie they've ever seen. So if everyone knows it, let's just see if you know what's the worst movie they've ever seen. 1, 2, 3.
Garbage Pail Kids.
That's it, yeah. What a loser. I mean, there's not many movies that when it's done I go, I wish I hadn't seen it because I could have used this time to go get a root canal. Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Room?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what was really funny. We were sitting in the in our studio when Doug
What
did
if I
the
did sorry,
telephone
Mark?
interview with Tommy Wiseau. And we're sitting there, and Doug says, "Do you really think it's going to call?" I don't know. We'll have to see. And then the question is, do you think he knows who I am? You know, Tommy Wiseau made us take down the room, and then we put it back, and he was going to sue us and everything, but nothing ever happened. So Tommy, so Tommy calls, and he goes, "Hello, Doug, how are you?" You know, okay. Doug did not say his last name because he didn't want him to identify who he was. And so near the end, we got a really good one because Tommy was talking about the film and stuff, and Doug says, "Look, we know that the film talks about drugs and so on, and we also know that right after it came out, drug use in LA dropped down. Do you think it could be related?" And Tommy has this weird laugh. He goes, "Doug, you must be pulling my leg." Okay. So now the room, and we also did some interviews with Greg Sestero, the guy who played Mark in there, and also when he put out with his book, what's it called, Disaster Movie, something like that, and it was fun to talk about it. Evidently, the people on the film had no idea what they were doing. Tommy had his own little whatever. So, yeah.
What's your favorite film?
My favorite film, the one that I just said, Fifth Element.
Oh,
Yeah. Zach.
Hey, what made Doug decide to go back to doing nostalgia printing?
What happened, he decided he got very burnt out after Oldley Fleet. And so he said, I can't think of anything else to do with the NC. We can't make any more movies because we can't top this. We spent tons of money doing this. And so all I can imagine doing is coming up with something new. So he came up with the idea of demo reel. The problem was they didn't have enough time to really get a good arc going in that. So he started to do demo reel, It's where we picked up Malcolm. It's where we picked up Rachel when she went to California. We picked up our number 2 choice, which is Rachel's roommate, which is Tamara. And after a while, Doug says, you know, what it was, he saw, what's the full name of the movie? Oh, The Odd Life of Timothy Green. He saw
Ew.
that and he said, man, I've got 1,000 jokes I could say with this. I may bring it back. So, but we had to have new rules. Doug used to do 1 review a week. He decided he would do a review every other week. It would give us a lot more time to prepare, to build props, to build sets, costumes, for him to write it, to edit it. And so once we did that, and he would do the editorials in between, he thought he'd give it a chance. And so that's when he came up with the idea of coming out of the plot hole. Yeah.
How many movies does Doug watch